Okay, in this video, I'll be answering a question I got about a week or so ago. Pretty much asking how to use Listsource to locate areas where properties are selling and buyers who purchase them. So first, I want to just go over kind of how I scout out areas where I think are up and coming or what areas to buy at. I usually use Trulia heat map, and then you can go by the county or you can go by the city. We'll just do Seattle just to make it simple. So I use this to kind of search and see what markets, what areas is hot recently, and what areas have had a pretty high increase in price over year, pretty much the last year. So this shows this average. What I do is look at average sales price, and then you can search. It shows Trulia has a popularity based on their rankings. I'm not 100% sure how that works completely, but I sometimes look at it, sometimes I don't. But I'm only looking at the average sale price in certain areas. And what I look at is I'm looking for the first time home buyer price points. And you just kind of have to be familiar with your market to kind of know what that is. You can speak with agents, and they should be a competent agent should be able to tell you kind of what first time home buyers, where they're buying at in your specific market. My market, it's gotten pretty expensive. So right now we're probably in the 300s, 400 range is the first time home buyer range. So what I look at is areas like this, some of this in this price range, which the popular area is up. So I look at this one, 98118. It's a 21% increase year over the last year. What they're selling at, properties are selling at in a 400 price range, and popular is 3. So what I didn't do is I kind of look and see what areas are in the first time home buyer price range, and then I do a search on Listsource and I find out which neighborhoods cash buyers are buying in, and I match up the two to see which areas are the best to market to. So once you find a deal, it should be easier to sell. But in the current market right now, it's so hard for cash buyers and other investors to find deals. If I want to wholesale a deal to another investor and not take it down and remodel it myself, it's fairly easy to, if it's a good deal, to flip it to another investor because they're having a hard time finding deals. So I just want to do a quick search. This is how I use Trulia. I usually search by average sales mark. This shows from February to May 2015. And it just kind of shows you the price points where things are selling at in each individual neighborhood. Just tells you the increase year over year. How's it increased? Okay, so that's how I use Trulia. And let's go to Listsource real quick. And then once you gotta log into Listsource, and once you log into Listsource, and maybe I should go back one. If you don't have a Listsource account, you just hit register here to set up an account. You can get started using Listsource. I've had my account for quite some time. I get a pretty decent discount on it with using it. So what you want to start is create your own list, and in this I'm going to show you how you can find out where cash buyers are buying at for free. And if you need to buy the list, you can do that. But this technique will show you how to use Listsource and find out where cash buyers are buying for free. So first, you're going to log into Listsource. What you're going to need to do is hit geography. We're going to be using zip code. Oh, wait, real quick. Okay, so you need this first. So this is what you're going to need first. Google. So you're going to need to Google or hit Seattle zip codes, because you're going to need all the zip codes for a specific area that you're looking for. So I usually use city data. It usually has them all. You just click there. Then you scroll down. And these are all the zip codes for the city. Copy. And let's just paste it right here. So those are all the zip codes you're going to need, and you're going to need to separate them out like that. You pause it while I do that for you. Okay, so once you've had the zip codes and things, you separate them out like that. You're going to go back to Listsource. You're going to be searching by state Washington. Oh, Washington. Actually, let's do this first. Let's do city, and then we'll change it later. Washington. City will be Seattle. Add that in. Okay. So once you've picked the geography, you're gonna select Seattle, Washington. Then what you're gonna want to go over is to the mortgage and liens. What you're looking for is last market sell date. I think it's under properties, is it? Yeah, there we go. So you're looking for last market sell date. So you select that. Then you want to do either 6 months or 12 months, depending on how many leads you get back. Let's see. We do last 6 months, 4,400. That may be enough. And then from there, we're going to go over to options. And you're going to select absentee owned. Now, just explain the concept behind this. What you're doing is you're selecting absentee owned properties because these are properties that were purchased by an individual who is not living in the property. They're living outside, so it's likely they're either a cash buyer or investor that purchased the property. So we just want those specific properties that have been purchased in the last 6 months. That takes our list down to 872. You then want to see property type. We want triplexes, duplexes, and quads. So and we're just looking for a single family. So those are the only options that we're really looking for. Add it. Residential quad. And you're just looking for the primary, which is easier to wholesale kind of deals. So that's why we focus on those. They're just, you know what I mean, you're in and out. Single family, quad, triplexes, and duplexes. So that takes our list down to 448. And then the next step, what we're going to do is change this to zip codes. State, Washington. Yes. Okay. And let's do and that's minus the Seattle, Washington off because we don't just want that anymore. We want the zip codes. So now what you're going to need to do is it goes like this. So this is how you find out where cash buyers are buying it. Remove one. So you're going to pick each individual zip code and do a search, and that'll tell you how many have sold in that specific zip code, and then you'll know where each one is buying at. So what's the first zip code? 9801. 98101. So let's go back. 98101. You hit add. And if you look up, it says 0. So what you'll do is put a 0 there. 98102. Remove this. And 102. 5. So put a 5 there. 98103. So that's what you'll need to do is go through each zip code. And that'll tell you where your cash buyers are buying at. And 98103. Search. We got 19. So what you do is you'll go through each zip code now to find out where all your cash buyers are buying at, and then you can do a search, and that'll tell you what areas that they're buying in. Cash buyers are buying at. And what I do is, let's say 98103. Give an example. 98103. This one right here. So this is a higher price neighborhood. You see, there was 19 going, so you go through the whole list and you'll see. But and you can kind of do it and see which ones are the most go-to area, so to speak, in terms of cash buyers. Let me make sure it's still recognizing. Move. Pause 1 second. Okay. So what I do is I usually copy down all the different zip codes for the area, and then you can give a kind of a snapshot and seeing which ones are in your first time home buyer neighborhood, so you want to look and see what areas are in the price range. Well, you have your first time home buyers and where a lot of cash buyers are buying at, and then you match the two up. Whichever areas have the highest purchase prices where there's the most cash buyers buying is likely, once you get a deal there, it'd be a lot easy to move the deal. So that's what I would focus on, is you get the breakdown of where all your cash buyers are buying at, and then what I use is another website which I then just drive the areas and try to create a list of homes that look like they may need some work, and then go market to them. And let's see. Okay, so like I said, once you have a breakdown of kind of what areas that the cash buyers are buying in, I use this website, Maps Huge Info, and then I just put in a zip code. Let's see, 98103, which is one of them we've seen. Let's see, find zip codes. So this gives me a breakdown on the map, what areas I driving, and then you just go drive these specific areas. You can print this out, and then you just go drive this specific zip code, this area, find all the houses that may need some work, or maybe they're a new development and it can be a small house knocked down and build a new house, and then I market to them. So that's the way where you can find cash buyers. And if you get a deal locked up and you don't have any cash buyers in the area, you can use the techniques that I've showed in other videos, how to find cash buyers. Or you can also, like I said, use that list of cash buyers that's bought in the last 6 months in that area, and print the list out and mail to them and tell them you got a deal and see if they're interested in buying. Okay. So if you have any questions, send me a message at boonerory@gmail.com. But yeah, that's how you find cash buyers. I'll put my email address in the bottom, so if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I can answer them for your future videos. All right. Thanks. Be wealthy with Rory, Turnkey Investing.